of Sovereign and Pension Fund Summit in Dubai, and President Barrow, who was amongst world leaders that discussed investment opportunities in Africa, was received at the Banjul International Airport by the Vice President Aja Fatoumata Jallow Tambajang, cabinet ministers, amongst a host of senior government officials, including service chiefs and members of the Consular and Diplomatic Corps. And GRTS's Babukar Kamara spoke to President Barrow about his travel and major issues on the domestic front. Here's an excerpt.
Your Excellency, welcome back, sir. You were among a panel of African leaders that discussed investment opportunities in Africa. What was your platform over there, sir?
The platform was about introducing Gambia to the world, introducing Gambia to the investment forum. I think that was very significant. We all know it is the new Gambia. With the new Gambia, we have to change. The change is we have to sell Gambia to the world market. That's all what we are doing.
And there has been a shake-up in cabinet. Can you shed light on that, sir?
Well, this is normal. It happens everywhere in the world. Sometimes we need changes. And I think we change it for the good of the Gambia. That's all.
And that was President Barrow there speaking to GRTS shortly after his arrival from the 2017 Dubai Investment Forum. And you can watch highlights of the President's arrival tonight after this newscast. And the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service Friday observed the 19th Fire and Rescue Service Open Day, and the event held in Bansang, Central River Region, also witnessed the passing out of parade of 294 members of Intake 1 2017. Ibrahim Asane tells us more.
National Fire and Rescue Service Day is observed in memory of the Fire and Rescue Services personnel who sacrificed their lives during rescue operations. A colorful ceremony punctuated with a march past by recruits Intake 1 2017. Delivering his keynote address, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Interior Bulli Diba, commended the entire security forces for their selfless duty to the nation. He, however, lamented on lack of proper equipment, especially for the police force.
Let me first thank, on behalf of the government and entire people of the Gambia, all our fine men and uniform in this country. You have risked your life, you have brought safety and protection to the doorsteps of every Gambian. We are aware of your efforts, and yet you are doing this under the most difficult circumstances. The conditions that you are facing and the challenges that you are facing as the security sector of this country, I am aware.
PS Diba said the forum also served as an awareness campaign to clear misconceptions about the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service of their functions. He assured his ministry's support to upgrade the police force.
But I must confess, before I joined this ministry, there are certain things that I was very ignorant of. I didn't know that the police officers are provided with only one uniform for the whole year. This is never going to be acceptable anymore. I can assure you the ministry's commitment and seriousness and willingness to work with you to make your job easier and better.
The Chief Fire Officer of Gambia Fire and Rescue Service, Roger Bakurin, hailed the Avon Fire Service UK for partnering with the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service. The success of this long-term working relationship is evident not only on GRTS, but also humanitarian aid to local communities.
And this partnership that has helped the Gambia Fire Service in terms of training, in terms of equipment, and in terms of uniforms. It came to a point that Avon will field students into fire service academics in England under their name, so that Gambia Fire Service can have access to institutions of training in the UK at concessionary prices.
He commended the Interior Ministry for the first time ever to support the National Fire and Rescue Day. The Governor, Central River Region, Cherno Barry, advised graduates to be committed to their duties and have respect for their superiors.
And I want to discuss the principle of patriotism, the principle of commitment to service, the principle of professionalism, teamwork, and discipline. But most importantly, the attitude. It doesn't matter, even if you come out as the number one, you know, in your training in terms of knowledge, in terms of skills, if the attitude is not right, every other thing is wrong.
A simulation exercise by the Gambia Fire and Rescue Service was conducted to sensitize the public for safety in case of fire outbreak. Ibrahima Ensane, GRTS News.
And the scores of volunteers Saturday took part in a massive exercise to rehabilitate a road network, and the exercise was led by the National Assembly member for Brikama South, and Haji Sumbundu tells us more.
Speaking at the exercise, Honorable Lamin Jesane said he will continue to engage his community members to participate in community development. The rehabilitation of the work, according to the MP, was an endeavor to complement government's effort towards national development.
It was a community contribution and holistic approach. Everybody was involved. All the women kafos in Jida community were contributing, including the Alcalo, together with my formidable committee, the Management and Development Committee, that were on a very firm footing. They work tirelessly to make sure that this project is on. Even when I am engaged at the assembly level, they are on the ground to ascertain that the trip of gravel from the quarries are deposited at different strategic locations to fill in the pothole.
The rehabilitating of the road has been hired by many as a fulfillment of the deputy's campaign promise. Chairman Westcast Region Lamin Jata delighted on the significance of the work.
So during my campaign, I did promise them immediately after the election, we will embark on a road rehabilitation project that we will be able to fill in the pothole so as to make it motorable for you to access the health center and the market. So immediately after the election and the inauguration, we embark on this. It is very important for us to do this thing because this also make an easy facilitation for them to reach these areas that I am talking about, the market and the health center.
Alcalo Lamin Jata lauded the initiative, say it will contribute immensely to the development of the community.
The Alcalo thanked the community members. He also noted that during the rainy season, people find it very difficult to get access to the market and the health center.
Reporting for GRTS News, I am Haji Sumbundu.
And the youths of Jara Jiffin in the Lower River region residing in the Combos on Saturday joined their village members on a massive cleansing exercise, and the activity was meant to create a fire belt for the Jara Jiffin community forest. Khadijatu Jallo has more on the story.
It took them a short time to clear the grass around the 200-meter square village forest. Upon arrival, officials from the Office of the President and National Assembly members of the area and beyond went round to inspect the fire belt as they encouraged the villagers to continue the spirit of unity in executing the village development agenda.
The community of Jara Jiffin has demonstrated their concern and interest on this forest. That is what warranted them fixing a day like today, getting the entire community to come over, make sure they put a fire belt to avoid fire destroying the forest park. And I am assigned to come and represent the President in this venture to boost their morale and give them courage that their government of the day is part and parcel of their activities.
Honorable Fakeba Koli, National Assembly member for Kiang West, commended the villagers for the move. Dudu Sano of the President's office underscored the importance of protecting the environment by planting trees and helping preserve the forest cover for generations to come. The exercise, he went on, should be emulated by youths of other parts of the country. On behalf of the youths from Kombo, Buli Jawara and other members of the community expressed their solidarity on the exercise.
Lesser plan, lesser rainfall. Yes, no tree, no life. And if you look at it now, even the birds that are here are part of our nation. You see, so the birds and other kind of animals that are living in this forest here are very vital in our society. So for that being the case, I thank all the youths that came from Kombo and meet the ones here.
The day-long program ended with a forum where the villagers had an interface with relevant authorities to discuss the challenges confronting them, such as lack of electricity, good road network, particularly the one leading to the rice field. Khadija Tujalo, reporting for GRTS News.
And the Rotary Club of Bruceby has hosted Rotary Challenge from different Rotary clubs in the Netherlands, and the Rotarians were in the country to lend support to their partners in the Gambia. Irema Jallo was there, and this is his report.
Rotarians and non-Rotarians from the Netherlands had a common focus anchored on a humanitarian philosophy of supporting communities and improving lives and livelihoods of people through support projects. Sanajaite, president of the Bruceby Rotary Club, praised the visiting Rotarians from the Netherlands for having drove all the way for supporting humanitarian efforts in the Gambia. The visiting Rotary clubs and their Gambian counterparts exchanged flags symbolizing a strong bond of solidarity.
When I organize a challenge myself, all the money is for the foundation. The more girls can go to school and have an education. So that's why we organize the challenge.
Omar Junaidi Jallo is the secretary of the Bruceby Rotary Club. He said the convergence was guided by the club's aims and objectives.
There was a group of Rotarians from Holland who drove all the way with vehicles to the Gambia, and at the end of the drive they decided to auction the vehicles off and raise funds to support education projects.
The meeting presented an induction of a new member to the club. Keba Krubali said he was inspired by the humanitarian interventions the Rotary is known for.
I see that the Rotary Club, they really are participating to help the people around the world. And also the little you get, you contribute it to the community, especially with the country like Gambia. We participate in the community and we help the community. That's one of the reasons. You know, there's no other reason. It's not a club that is you are making a benefit there, but you are giving away.
The president of Bruceby Rotary Club shared her inspiration on the meeting and expressed optimism of a better future for Rotary in the Gambia.
The club is welcoming all to serving humanity, serving above self. That is what the club is mostly about, serving humanity, distributing what you have to the betterment of people that are less privileged.
Meanwhile, the Gambia is expected to host the Rotary District Conference in 2019. Irema Jallo, GRTS News.
And the first ever University of the Gambia Inter-Schools Drama and Poetry competition was staged on Friday at the Law Faculty grounds in Kanifing. And the competition brought together 6 schools to compete on the theme, Divorce and its Effects on Children. Sisi Sawane was there and filed in this report.
Studies have suggested that school children exposed to drama, music and dance are more proficient in reading, writing and math. And one of the most obvious benefits of performing arts is the development of skills in self-presentation to develop the ability to converse with adults in a mature manner. Participation in the arts also allows students to grow their self-esteem and self-confidence, developing poise and learning to overcome anxieties. This is among the reasons behind this inter-schools drama and poetry competition staged by the Performing Arts Troupe of the University of the Gambia. The coordinator of the association, Musa Balde, said that his association will stage more performing arts on current issues like examination malpractices, illegal migration, amongst others.
The UTG Performing Arts is an important association that we came up with a few months ago. The objective of this association, amongst other things, is to promote performing arts in the UTG. Now, we know the importance of universities, and performing arts has been something that has been lagging behind. And this is the first event that we've organized, and it's actually one of the first UTG performing arts events, and it's the first drama and poetry competition in this institution. And we are going to continue to work towards this direction because we believe in many ways we can project our cultures and traditions, and we can also, advocate in the form of drama and poetry. And that is why we are going to continue this trend.
Mam Demba Sise and Amadou Silla from the Film Producers of the Gambia and the Gambia Union Theatre respectively said performing arts was dormant for the past few years in the country. They urge students to uphold the standards of the profession. After a tense competition among the different schools, the School of Journalism and Digital Media were crowned champions in the drama and poetry competition, and as well as the best actor.
I said, please. My son, I'm so sorry. Don't come near me. Like adultery, don't try it. Like suicide, don't even think of it.
The School of Nursing and Arts and Sciences claimed the prizes for the second and third positions respectively in the drama competition. Reporting for GRTS News, I am Sisi Sawane.
Well, congratulations there to the School of Journalism and Digital Media. And that takes us to our first break, but we'll be back with news and sports right after. Stay tuned.
Carry your bank everywhere you go with the GT Bank Gambia mobile app. Take control of your account anytime, anywhere with ease and security. Do your banking the smart way with the GT Bank Gambia mobile app. Check your account balance, transfer funds, buy direct cash power and mobile credit, withdraw money from our ATM and POS, and pay your bills, request for a Verve card or Visa card, check your Forex rates, and do so much more in just a few steps. Download the GT Bank Gambia mobile app today from Google Play Store or Apple Store. Do your banking the smart way. Do your banking now with the GT Bank Gambia mobile app. Terms and conditions apply. GT Bank, wouldn't you rather bank with us?
Lubesa bes, Nemoji for it. Hey, Lubesa bes, Nemoji for it. Hey, Mawahati. Nyowal. Akasakan lolu. Nyowal. Akaneex lolu. Nyowal. Neex na ci panket. Nyowal. Neex na ci buru. Nyowal. Neex na ci tapala. Nyowal. Tay moji fari. Nyowal. Akasakan lolu. Nyowal. Lay la la. Moji fari. Xolal jas ma yëkëti. Ba atan ken ko moji. Neex na ci panket, neex ci buru. Moji fari. Ba ci tapala ba ci sempur. Moji fari. Réew mi dindalee ko. Fariñ bi dafa neex lool sa sakal lool. Moji fari. Moji bu mu jëndee ba tey bonut. Moji fari. Moom la ñu taamu sa sakal lool. Moji fari. Ak neex. Jënd leen ko.
Yéen ñu doon ut fariñ bu baax, fariñ bu sakkan. Demal tey ca Moustapha J Diallo and Sons ca 61 OAU Boulevard bi tey it nga teg sa téléphone call leen ci 4227 566 wala it 9244 331 wala it nga dem ci seen makkaan ba nekk Pictine waa kër Moustapha J Diallo and Sons.
Welcome back, and let's take a look at some sports news, where Joey Evans is South African off-road motorcycle racer from Johannesburg who dreamt of racing in Dakar Rally. But in 2007, his dream was shattered after he broke his back during the race. And against all odds, he got back on his feet and now recounts his journey from paralytic to 2017 Dakar Rally finisher. And Julius Kira tells us more.
Joey Evans had an insatiable dream to one day ride in the Dakar Rally. But in 2007, his life took a sudden turn.
I had this goal to race the Dakar Rally, and working on the goal, racing, doing a lot of racing local and that kind of stuff. But all of that ended 2007 when I was involved in a racing accident, and I broke my back. I broke my T8, T9 vertebra, and I crushed my spinal cord, and I was left paralyzed from the chest down.
Evans was given a 10% chance to walk again. His racing career seemed over and his Dakar dream shattered, or so it seemed.
I was fortunate enough that my injury was what we call an incomplete spinal cord injury, and so I started to regain some feeling and some movement over the next weeks and months, and it was a long recovery that took literally years. But then I started riding bike again, and I kept chasing this goal to race in the Dakar Rally. And the first race I did, I was lapped by all these guys that I used to beat over and over again. They lapped me several times that day, and it was tough. But I learned a big lesson that day, and that was that I'm not racing other guys anymore. You know, I'm racing myself now. I'm racing against my injury.
Evans slowly returned to race fitness, and in 2017, Dakar became a reality.
Standing on that start line of the Dakar Rally, my goal now changed for the first time in 10 years. I'd had a goal to race in the Dakar, and now my goal changed to finishing the Dakar. I had a lot of challenges, but that's what Dakar's about. It's a tough, difficult race. I tore ligaments in my knee. Another few times I had some bad crashes. I had a rally car come up behind me and I couldn't get out the way quick enough, and I ended up diving off the bike, and he rode right over my bike and completely flattened the bike.
Freaking insane, but it shows you don't quit, ever.
Joey finished Dakar in last place and has now written a book about his extraordinary life journey. Many would have given up when resigned to a wheelchair, but for Joey Evans, that was only the beginning of his journey. He did not only get up to walk again, but conquered his dreams of finishing Dakar. Judy Shah, CGTN, Johannesburg, South Africa.
And we'll be back with more international stories right after this break. Just stay tuned. Welcome back, and let's head to Zimbabwe, because the ruling ZANU-PF party there has given President Robert Mugabe until noon local time on Monday to step down as president. And on Sunday, the party's general committee chose his former deputy, Emmerson Mnangagwa, to be Mugabe's replacement. And the move by the ruling party is one step closer to seeing President Robert Mugabe removed as president. And we have details in this news report.
Of the authority vested in me.
After 3 days of confinement as an unprecedented political crisis played out, Zimbabwe's embattled President Robert Mugabe was seen for the first time in public on Friday, officiating a university graduation ceremony. Earlier, the country's military said it had partially completed its mission to account for criminals surrounding President Mugabe. Talks between the veteran leader and military chiefs were deadlocked after a Thursday afternoon meeting with South African mediators. The stalled diplomatic effort has heightened anxiety in a nation that's looking for a quick resolution to a dramatic political crisis.
Between now and tomorrow, we are saying we are giving a warning, a very stark warning to Mugabe, to his wife, and to anybody who still wants to be associated with him, that the game is up. Finished, done. We won't allow this to go any further. We are giving an ultimatum to Mugabe. This aura of this pretense that things are normal, going to Zou University and keeping people, hey, it's pretense. We won't accept it. It's finished. He has to make a decision along with diplomas which is being given by SADC to promptly leave office. That's all we want.
The veterans have organized a march on Saturday to compel Mugabe to step down. On Friday, the ruling ZANU-PF party initiated a process to recall the president. All of the party's provincial structures passed a vote of no confidence in the embattled leader and his wife, First Lady Grace Mugabe, and called for the reinstatement of former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Farai Mwakutuya, CGTN, Harare, Zimbabwe.
And still on that developing story, the veteran president delivered a televised statement insisting he will preside over ZANU-PF's next Congress next month. And here is what he had to say.
Of intergeneration conflict must be resolved through a harmonized melding of old, established players as they embrace and welcome new rules, new ones through a well-defined sense of hierarchy and succession. Indeed, all these matters will be discussed and settled at the forthcoming Congress within the framework of a clear roadmap that seeks to resolve once and for all any omissions or contradictions that have affected our party negatively. The Congress is due in a few weeks from now. I will preside over its processes, which must not be prepossessed by any acts calculated to undermine it or to compromise the outcomes in the eyes of the.
And let's shift our attention from Zimbabwe to other news. And because of her many years of trading in roasted chicken, Grace Nanyonga earned the nickname Chicken Girl. For her, it is all about the art of business of cooking for one woman. And CGTN's Hilary Aseyiga reports.
A spicy fish rub to excite her customers' taste buds. Grace Nanyonga is keeping the fragrancy and flavors in her smoked fish intact. This is just one of the many businesses she started from a young age to try to make ends meet.
I roasted chicken, I roasted maize, I sold banana leaves to get school fees and also support my siblings and ourselves for survival. And this is because we never had parents. Our parents died when we were still young.
Many years of trading in roasted chicken earned her the nickname Chicken Girl. From selling chicken on the street to processing fish products, Grace Nanyonga has gradually made her way to the top in business. She's now looking at widening her market beyond Uganda. When it comes to selling fish, this entrepreneur says her product is superior to others on the market. While other sellers deep fry their fish, she only smokes it ready to eat, which means it's free from oil. This process takes about 2 hours.
So we are going to put in more fire for this, because even when you turn this other side, the juice is still a lot. You see it's pouring. It has to reduce.
Her target customers include schools, offices and homes. Each piece of smoked fish here goes for $10 US.
This fish is so good and so sweet. I don't know what she put in, but it is so different from others.
Besides processing fish, Nanyonga also trains young people to bake, and she wants them to take what they learn here so they can start up their own businesses. Hilary Isga, CGTN, Mukono, Central Uganda.
That wraps up this edition of the News at 8. But before we go, a recap of the top stories once again. His Excellency President Adama Barrow has returned to Banjul after attending the Global Investment Forum in Dubai. And the scores of volunteers have descended on Brikama Judah for a massive road rehabilitation exercise. And the Performing Arts University style, students of the various schools of the UTG have explored their creative skills during the first inter-schools drama competition. And elsewhere, the Central Committee of Zimbabwe's ruling ZANU-PF party has sacked embattled President Robert Mugabe, and this as the veteran leader edges closer to the exit door. Well, that was all in this edition of the News at 8 with me, Fatimata Sisay. Thank you for joining us, but I'll be back in the studios at 2200 hours with more news. Until then, keep watching GRTS.